topic. Just this past Monday, several people shot, including a 15-year-old, and that was innocent.
Yeah.
You know, we had a shooting in May 8th in Middle Times Square, a 4-year-old shot in addition to 2 other women. Last year, a 1-year-old shot at a park at a birthday party.
It's horrible.
Yes. So my question for you is, you know, it's and we heard Mr. Reed say this, you know, SUV can't do it alone. Where is the intervention on the street level? Because whenever something like this,
Well, this is street level.
This is street level.
And the reason when we hear that SUV can't do it alone is because our policies, and up to this point, our leadership has not invested in this kind of approach in preventing violence. So SUV can't do it alone because these people standing up behind us can't do it alone for an entire borough.
and I understand that, but always, whenever we have the we have obviously increase in anti-hate crimes, and it always comes back to bail reform. Whenever shooting, always comes back to gun violence. So with those two issues always coming up, and we've heard our police commissioner say this many times,
Yes.
especially the gun violence. What is your stance
Sure.
on the bail reform?
Well, with enormous amount of respect, these blaming of bail reform is not evidence-based. There's no facts, data to back it up. What we have here is an actual clinical approach with facts and evidence to back it up. And so while we can say, oh, it might be bail reform, oh, it might be this, first of all, in the area of crime, it is rife with this issue of correlation and causation, and people will often say that it's one thing and not another. But it needs to have actual data to back it up. And one of the things that you mentioned, when you talk about hate crimes, one of the things that we've seen in the resulting data of hate crimes is that an extraordinarily high number of people who are responsible for hate crimes are suffering from severe mental health issues. And our complete gutting of support in our mental health system, both in the city and across the country, is absolutely correlated with both homelessness and incidents of violent crime. When you actually open the door to a jail and look at who's inside, an enormous amount of people are dealing with untreated mental health issues. And it is not acceptable for us to use jails as garbage bins for human beings. We need to treat people and see them as human. And so it is not a place for us to throw people for whom we don't want to invest in the actual holistic issues of their lives. If we want to reduce violent crime, if we want to reduce the number of people in our jails, the answer is to stop building more of them. The answer is to make sure that we actually build more hospitals, we pay organizers, we get people mental health care and overall health care, employment, etc. It's to support communities, not throw them away.
When it comes to implementing these types of approaches, who do you think are the best candidates for mayor?
Next!
That's it. Let's go.
All right. Yes, Robert.
I think we're gang violence, and the New York City Police Department can't handle it. What's been done in other cities like Chicago and Kansas City is federal agents have come in using the RICO Act to take care of this gang violence. Are you three people willing to do that here in New York City? Why or why not?
Well, again, I want to make sure that we talk about this issue in a holistic way. And one of the things, especially when we talk about gang violence, is the classification and the abuse of classification of gang violence. You'll have 3 youth on a corner, and all of a sudden, they will be classified as a gang. And so we really need to make sure that we break apart these numbers and understand that we're taking, again, the evidence-based approach to actually reducing safety. And it's time for us to question this correlation that safety just means throwing someone in a jail. Safety actually means preventing and reducing the incidence of violence in the first place. And how we do that is investing in the people behind me right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Jamal wants to say one thing.
I want to add one more component, and forgive me, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. I always have to add the education component.
Yes.
You know, we have to invest more in our public schools, invest more in our teachers, invest more in mental health supports in our schools, and our schools can no longer work in isolation. They have to work with health care. They have to work with Jacoby and SUV to create a holistic response to the violence that are happening in our streets. Think of our children, our families, and those who are most vulnerable in the center. and they are surrounded by excellent fully funded schools, excellent fully funded healthcare systems, and excellently fully funded SUV programs. That is how we provide the wraparound services and protective code for those who are most vulnerable in our communities. When that happens, you'll continue to see a dramatic decrease in gang violence and in gun violence, in addition to the food security, housing security, and other areas. So this is about community working holistically together, and we cannot forget about the education component as we have this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jamal.